twice, did it again, ayy.
This ain't neighborhood, little baby, this Dover's. Little baby, this Dover's.
So 9 deuce or 9-4? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What were the pros and cons of each?
Nothing. It's the same.
But it's different people, right?
Yeah, but it's the same.
People be turning the H to the SN. And so then there's a bunch of...
That's
weird,
this
bro.
we said.
Right.
So, like, yeah, we don't, everybody don't.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what you guys think of it.
What you
like
mean?
how offensive it ranks.
He crazy.
That's too freaky.
You wanna know how we feel about it?
Nigga, goof up on the
Is it like...
right now. Boy, this nigga freaky.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about Poke from 9-4 Hoover. We're going to break down everything from his early life to his cases to how he would currently be out on $140,000 bail for street terrorism, assault with a deadly weapon, and more. But let's dive right into it. Now, like we said, Poke would be from 9-4 Hoover, and he would be Poke number 1, aka Big Poke. And he would be in and out of juvenile halls his whole childhood. But we're going to start off with his adult cases that he would be charged and have a case number for. So we're going to start off in 2010. And Poke was first arrested on February 22nd of 2010, and he was charged for 1 count of burglary. And as you can see to the right, the offense date would be February 22nd of 2010 also, which would be the same day as his arrest. But 2 days after his arrest, they would allow him to be released on his own recognizance on February 24th of 2010. But just a week later, on March 3rd of 2010, he would take a plea deal, and they would give him 3 years of probation on this case. Poke would then manage to stay out of trouble for the next year, but then he would be arrested again on April 21st of 2011, and he was arrested for another burglary case again. And as you can see to the right, the offense date would be the same exact day as the arrest date. He would then have to sit in the county jail for about a month, but on May 18th of 2011, he would post a $20,000 bail. But just 1 week after bailing out, he would take a plea deal on May 25th of 2011. And on that same day of May 25th of 2011, they would give him 16 months in state prison. And they would also revoke his probation from the other case. Poke would then be released in 2013, where he would stay out of trouble for a little bit. But just a few months after being released, he would be arrested again on March 13th of 2014. And they would arrest him for 3 counts of burglary. But at first, he would get a DA reject. So he was released on March 13th of 2014. The day he was arrested. And a month after getting that DA reject on them 3 burglary counts, he would be arrested again on April 6th of 2014, but this time it was for carrying a loaded firearm. But luckily for Poke, this pistol case would also be a DA reject. But unfortunately, 1 month after that DA reject, he would be arrested again for the 3rd time in 3 months. And he was arrested on May 25th of 2014. But this time, they would charge him with 4 counts of burglary, 1 count of grand theft, and 1 count of evading police. And as you can see to the right, the offense date and the arrest date is the same exact day. He would then have to sit in the county jail fighting this case, but unfortunately for Poke, they would refile the other burglary case on July 1st of 2014. So now he was fighting 3 counts of burglary on this case, and 4 counts of burglary on the other case, 1 count of grand theft, and 1 count of evading police. But after sitting in the county jail for a few months, he would take a plea deal on October 8th of 2014 on the 4 counts of burglary, 1 count of grand theft, and 1 count of evading police. And as you can see, he would plead no contest on every single count. And on the evading police, they would give him 28 months, 16 months for the actual crime, plus enhancements. And on count 1 of burglary, they would give him 16 months. But as you can see at the bottom, it would be concurrent with count 6. Same thing as count 2. It would be concurrent. Count 3, same thing. Count 4, same thing. And count 5, all the same thing to be ran concurrent. And just 2 weeks after taking that plea deal, he would take another plea deal on the 3 counts of burglary on October 24th of 2014. But he would only plead no contest on 1 count, and he would have the other 2 counts dismissed due to the plea negotiation. But luckily for Poke, they would only give him 365 days in the LA County Jail. And as you can see in the time served, he would have 365 days. So that bid just canceled out. Poke would then go to state prison to do his 28-month bid, but in the beginning of 2016, he would be released on parole. And unfortunately for Poke, he wouldn't even be out for a whole entire year before he was arrested again. And he was arrested again on August 18th of 2016. And this time he was arrested for 6 counts of burglary, 3 counts of grand theft, and 1 count of evading police. As you can see right here, they broke it down. 2 counts of burglary, 1 count of grand theft. 2 counts of burglary, 1 count of grand theft. 1 count of burglary, 1 count of grand theft, another count of burglary, and then evading police. And as you can see to the right, the offense date would be February 25th of 2016, which would be 6 months before he was even arrested. and that would be just a few weeks after he was released on parole from his 28-month prison bid. He would then have to sit in the county jail for the next 3 months fighting this case, but on November 9th of 2016, he would have most of these counts dismissed, and he would take a plea deal. And he would plead no contest to 3 counts of burglary and 1 count of evading police. And for the evading police, they would give him 5 years in state prison, 3 years for the actual crime, and 2 years for enhancements. And for the first count of burglary, they would give him 8 months. And as you can see at the bottom, it's to run consecutive. Count 2, they would give him the same thing, to run consecutive. Count 3, same thing, to run consecutive. So they would give him a total of 7 years in state prison for this. But after doing about a year and some change and having a little bit of time served, he would be released in the beginning of 2018 on parole. But just a few weeks after being released, as you can see, he would get a parole hold on April 19th of 2018. But as you can see, from 2018 to 2021, which would be about 3 years, he would for the most part stay out of trouble. But unfortunately for Polk, on July 25th of 2022, he would run into the law again. And he would be arrested for 2 counts of burglary and 1 count of grand theft. And if you look to the right, the offense date would be April 4th of 2022, which would be 3 months before he was even arrested. And this would be the 6th time that Polk was arrested and charged for burglaries. But after sitting in the county jail for about 2 weeks, Polk would bail out for $20,000 on August 15th of 2022. He was then able to fight this case on the streets, but 2 months after bailing out, on October 5th of 2022, he would take a plea deal. And luckily for Polk, on October 5th of 2022, he would be released on probation. But unfortunately for Polk, just 4 months after taking that probation deal, he would be arrested again on March 9th of 2023. And I'm sure you can guess what he was arrested for. He was arrested for 1 count of burglary. And as you can see to the right, the offense date would be January 31st of 2023, which was a couple of months before he was arrested. And after sitting in the county jail for about 2 weeks, they would allow him to post a $20,000 bail on March 23rd of 2023. And on that same day of March 23rd of 2023, they would allow him to post a $1,000 bail for the probation case. He would then fight this case on the streets for about a year, but on January 26th of 2024, Polk would be arrested for possession of an assault weapon. They would also revoke his probation, but luckily for Polk, this case right here, the possession of an assault weapon, would be a DA reject. But they would still revoke his probation. But just a few weeks after being arrested for that, he would take a plea deal on the burglary case that he was out on bail for. And he would take his plea deal on February 9th of 2024. And they would give him 16 months in the county jail. But after doing about 6, he would be released in August of 2024. In less than a year after his release, he would be arrested again on July 31st of 2025. And they would arrest him for 1 count of assault by any means of force possible, causing great bodily injury. And as you can see, they would throw 2 enhancements on it, 1 being street terrorism, which is a serious felony. And if you look to the right, the offense date is the same exact day as the arrest date. And on this case, it would be him and 5 other co-defendants. One of the co-defendants would be young Polk, who was in the Hoover indictment with Lady Duck and P4K. But after sitting in the county jail for about 5 months, they would allow him to post a $140,000 bail on December 16th of 2025. And like we said, he's still fighting this case. But hopefully he can beat this case and focus up on music. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Respectable rants.